Hi, everybody. I'm with Steve Brosman today. I'm very excited to do an interview with him because he is somebody that I've worked with many times and he has a lot of knowledge. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of bio on Steve because I could say some wonderful things, but there are just so many more. Steve is a former national professional track champion and 9 times Amazon best-selling author. 20 years of TV and video experience, including his own TV show. How cool is that, huh? And he's been an executive producer for Warner Brothers, so a lot of experience in that area. Steve's been the 2012 international #1 video marketing influencer. He's spoken in 15 countries, created several 6 and 7-figure multinational businesses. Um, Last year, he was selected with 40 of the world's most innovative marketers to be published with 40 others. Um, Steve's got a back pocket guide for self-selling secrets. As I said, it just goes on and on and on.
Let's get into the meat of it.
So let's just get into the actual questions that are going to get everybody knowing what's going on and getting them working on their businesses. So the first question that I had for you, Steve, after all that, obviously you've got plenty of experience. How do you think that COVID has affected businesses?
It certainly depends on the business and the circumstances. There are industries that, because of what's going on, have struggled. There are people out there that have had to change, and we're certainly in that area. But what's happened in a lot of the professional services because of the change and people staying at home, those in the coaching and consulting industry, that's actually exploded. And it's caused what I call the coaching conundrum, particularly over the last 18 months. There are more coaching and consulting opportunities right now than any other time in history. There are more coaching programs, people teaching people how to coach
Yep.
and give themselves a piece of paper and say, hey, you've got a business now, than ever before. And I'm sure you're getting them when we sit on LinkedIn 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. We get all of these people saying to us, hey, we can grow your coaching business 10, 20, 30, 40 clients overnight while you sleep, which there are more charlatans out there trying to take people's money. So that has also led to a greater competition in the market. So the business side of things right across the spectrum has got crowded, more and more crowded. And it's more important now than ever than you have to be seen as a leader and authority and stand out in your market. Because if you just do, I've always got the saying, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get a lot less.
Yep.
Not what you've always got, but so much less. So that's the snapshot of our people in the industry and who we serve the best, that the opportunities are there, but they've got to change.
Absolutely. No, I see it myself all the time,
Hmm.
so couldn't agree more. And that brings me to the next one. You talk about what you call the brown box syndrome. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Okay, picture Christmas morning.
Oh, that sounds like
You
fun.
go down to the tree, there's lots of brightly coloured boxes and one brown box. Is it the first or the last box unwrapped?
I'm not going anywhere near it.
Yeah. You know what comes in brown boxes? It's just pretty basic stuff.
Yep.
And you also think that the person who put it under the tree didn't value it highly enough to put any effort into wrapping it. And that's the same in business. If you're titled by your category or your occupation, a coach, a trainer, a consultant, a dentist, an accountant, a mortgage broker, then you're seen the same as everybody else. There could be gold in the box. But if you're seen the same as everybody else, quite often the only thing that people are going to look for is judging you on price. So the first thing to do is get out of the brown box, be positioned uniquely, and then you can break out of the price comparison. So that's the brown box syndrome. And there are millions of people in the brown box.
Yep. And there are plenty of people with the gold in the box, but just nobody sees it. Nobody gets to the gold, which is a real shame.
No. And it's a sad thing. And that's one of the real missions that I have, is to show people that there is another way.
Absolutely. That's why we're talking today. So the next question that I have for you is, why do you think so many people struggle at selling?
Well, it's because the people are teaching them crap. I'll be blunt. And that's one of the things that bugs me. First, the marketers that market the brown boxes and tell them that they've just got to spend more and more money on marketing to get out there. And if you yell at the top of the hill, the loud as you possibly can, hey, I've got a brown box, you're just going to waste a lot of money. And the same with those who sell. And particularly for us people, and a lot of your people will be the same, we sell our knowledge, our skills, or our expertise. Basically, it's what between our ears. We turn it around and we sell it as a service or a program of some description. Most of the time, we can work with people. We can collaborate with people. We like doing all of that. But when it comes to the, hey, do you want to buy me? It becomes personal. And most professionals can say, I can sell somebody else's product or service 10 times better than I can sell myself because it's personal. And the sales coaches just say, I'm going to get you better at selling yourself. But the problem is the selling yourself. So when I work with people, we create the product, the program, the system, and we create a document. I call it now the $1 million one-pager. It's a blueprint that is a specific document to collaborate on, not to explain what you do, but to work together to say, here's all the different values when we work together. It's going to be far greater than what you're anticipating paying. And they get to sell that, not themselves. And whenever I teach it, when I used to teach it in rooms live, and you've been to a few of these events, the light bulbs would just go on. It was like, oh, you mean I don't really have to get into a room and say, hey, I'm good, buy me? Not that they say exactly that, but that's the process that most people say. Hey, tell them, you've got this and you can help them with this. And that's where they really do struggle, is they're using old school techniques and they're trying to sell something that using an old technique that is just a value here. It's a cost. Whereas we turn it around and basically they're getting paid out of the profits you're going to put in their pocket first.
Yep. Most people feel that way. No matter what, they're going to think, I'm selling myself, and it just feels icky. So it's just a bit of a struggling point for them.
One thing on that, and there's two different processes. There's the new one that I'm teaching, which to me is a breakthrough. And I've been doing it for a while, but not the way that I'm doing it now. And I've been working with an international leading neuroscientist, a cognitive neuroscientist. And what we've developed is how to increase the buying energy before you get on a call.
Ooh, very interesting.
And it's basically how to get them to ask to buy, but we'll cover that in a sec. So let's take the typical. We've got the brown box, and we'll go down the route of, let's just say it's a mortgage broker, a coach, a business coach. We know a few of those. So you're a business coach. Then you're perceived as a business coach. And if I'm going to contact that person, the excitement level is not that high because there's lots of them. We could go to the next one. However, if they position them as a leader and an authority on a certain thing and they were known for that, it's like, I'm really getting to talk to that person. My energy level goes up. Now, the next thing in the traditional sales process, they're taught, you've got to qualify. Is this the right person to sell to? Well, that doesn't excite the buyer at all because they probably don't have any connection with that. So they're flatlining there. Whereas I teach cultivate, not qualify. Yeah, you give them some good information and making sure that it's got some videos in there because we're starting to create a relationship, starting to enhance some excitement about what it is they're going to do. The biggest mistake, and I know we're probably going to get to talk to it shortly, but the biggest mistake most people make now, and that's just because they're taught to do it this way, is get them on a discovery call. Geez, I've never heard that. Every industry, every category has discovery calls or no obligation strategy call. Now, we all know now that they're just sales calls. let me get you on a discovery call and discover how I can take money off you. That's basically the feeling these days. So again, the energy level actually drops. Sorry?
There's no surprise at the end.
Yeah. So the energy is dropping and the buying resistance goes up, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the call. Whereas if you turn it around and give it an outcome-based title and a perceived value, I have an authority unpack call where we unpack people's authority and work out how we can help better them. I have a prominence and performance review. We assess their prominence and their own personal performance for another type of program that I do. So there is some perceived value that I'm going to get from that call. It's like, wow, that sounds interesting. I think I'm going to enjoy that call. And then the minute that there is a booking, and this is the absolute killer to really jump up the energy, is it'll either be via a webcam or out somewhere with a phone. I'll just shoot a quick video, a personal video, or use a pre-recorded one that sounds pretty personal. Yep. Hey, Menno, saw you book in for a call. Fantastic. I can't wait to talk to you. Oh, by the way, I've had a quick look at your website and your LinkedIn profile. I've got some great ideas I can't wait to share with you. I look forward to chatting on the call. Cheers. What's that going to do for the energy?
That is going to pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Absolutely.
I've missed one.
And we're not even on one of those calls.
Yeah. I've missed one appointment in 7 years with that sort of call.
Yep,
now,
the delivery.
It gets them excited and ready for the call. They've learned a lot about you through the cultivation. They know who you are, what you can do, and they've also made an informed decision to proceed or not. They can drop off at any time. So they're self-qualifying, and only the people that are excited actually get on the call. So that makes it, yeah, and that is the point. And that's how you get people that are almost asking to buy, because you've actually built the buying energy beforehand. And it works across lots of industries. You know, it does work really well in the professional services industry. Yeah. But I had a guy selling glass balustrades and pool fencing, and they were brown boxes, but they were full of glass. Yeah. So we built one of these funnels for him. When they, asked for a quote, they'd get a video email back and showing some of the things that they did different, the services and all those sorts of things. And then the guy who was doing the quote, he'd send another one, say, I've got the thing, I'm going to be talking in a couple of days, and there'd be all sorts of engagement, interaction. And after 1 month and 2 days, they broke all sales records by selling a month's worth of stock in 9 days.
I'm not surprised.
Just by increasing the buying energy.
Yes.
And do you know how much it costs to do that?
Nothing.
It probably, they bought a video email platform, and that was costing them $49 a month.
Nothing.
Nothing. And selling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product for the cost of just learning some new techniques. And that was a massive turnaround for them.
Absolutely. So I can feel the energy already going up with everybody that's watching this, obviously, because this is very, very exciting. You already answered the other question that I was going to ask. So the next thing, you are running what you call a 5-day coaching sprint. Can you tell us about that? Because this is where people are going to be able to learn to implement all of these things, how to stop being a brown box, how to start being able to show their authority, and being able to do those kinds of calls where people are actually begging to be sold to rather than having to be chased.
Yeah. Look, I've been involved in different people's challenges and things like that. And you sit on them and they spend an hour or so talking about themselves. They get guest speakers on and they talk about themselves. You waste about 3 or 4 hours and you get about 10 minutes worth of training. And I hate them and I won't do them. So the coaching sprint is exactly that. It starts in a couple of days. I'm doing some pre-training. I'm going to start the pre-training on Monday, Australian time. And we're going to really rev it up for 5 days. There's a half an hour of training, which is pre-recorded, so I can sit in the chat and answer questions as people are going through. But I've got another level for those who really want some mentoring all the way through, where we can have some group-guided mentoring. And it's 5 days, so you get half an hour of training, you got the rest of the day to do your own work and or implement what you've got. So I've sliced it up so it's not that hard. If all they allocated for 5 days, roughly 90 minutes, they would get some significant results, just like we're talking about, in their business. So that's why I'm calling it a sprint. Now, the other thing is the 3 days after those 5, I'm actually going to get on and do some live training. Now, the reason I'm doing it live is I don't know what it is yet. It's whatever the people are needing at the time. So if I see a group of people that need this, then I'll jump in and I'll let people know how to do that. So it'll be live training, and then it ends. A sprint ends. The training comes down. So for people who, run a race, get halfway through and say, you know what, I'm just going to go away and come back and finish the race off. How does that work out? It doesn't. I'm forcing people to turn up. It doesn't have to be live. They can watch the replays, but implement during the time, because they're going to take it away from them. And those who do the VIP program actually get the training videos. But if you're just going to come and sit, watch and not do anything, you'll get a lot of good information, but the value is being there and implementing it with other people, getting feedback and making sure you're actually doing it. And so that's why we're recommending they bring an accountability partner.
Yes, absolutely. And I love the idea of accountability partners, because I'm very heavily involved in masterminds and I know how important they are.
Yep.
But now I need to really cut to the chase, because people are going to be wanting to see how they can join and how much it costs. So what can we tell them about that?
Well, it will cost a kidney and their firstborn.
I only have one kidney, so that's not
So did my dad and his mum. No, it's free. I'm giving it. I'm that, pardon the French, pissed off with all the other stuff that's going on out there, that I want to make a difference. I want to show people that there is a different way. You don't have to do it with all the stress and all the rubbish that other people are trying to take your money. So I'm giving this sort of training free so that they can say, yeah, there is a different way. Those who want to invest, because I just found out today with 10 countries attending.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, 10 countries, which is really cool.
It's amazing what COVID's done in that sense, that it's forcing people to go out further afield as well, which is really good.
Yeah, a majority is actually from Northern America, a lot of Canadians and North Americans, and then the people throughout the rest. So if those who want actually group mentoring, if you think, our 12 minutes live with me got some nuggets out, we're going to have an hour after every session, and I'm going to be doing Q&A, probably a little bit of advanced training as to how they can implement it, some of the different ways and some case studies. And then I'm going to do some hot seating. And that is actually just $97 US. They get that. They get a couple of my books that I've chosen that are very supportive of what we're doing. Not distracting, but supportive. And that's it. They do not get anything else.
They're really focused.
Yeah, I'm not about to give you a bucket load of rubbish just to give an unreal perceived value that are nothing but distractions. The value's in the mentoring, the group mentoring, and you've got the other two books that will enhance what they get, but they should read them after.
Yep, makes sense.
And that's it. So they can come for free, or they can actually join the VIP once they get in.
So the price is right. The information is really good. The excitement is high. I think we should start letting everybody get into it and clicking on the link. So depending on where you're watching this, we'll make sure that there's a link somewhere where you can find it really nice and easily.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
We're looking forward to seeing everybody there. And thank you, Steve, for taking the time to answer the questions. and for providing something for free that is so valuable that people are going to be able to access in a completely different way. And I'm looking forward to seeing people sprint and finish the race and get the results that they want.
And I'm looking forward to it too. For those that are watching this, I hope you can tell I love what I do. I'm passionate. I really want to put everything into it and give you guys the best possible value that I can, so we can get out there and show those others that there's another way to do it. Menno, I'm looking forward to having you in there as well, because I know that you're in and registered, which is great. I appreciate our friendship and the way that we work together, and for letting your people know that they can really get out and grow their business without spending bucketloads of money on wasting on ads or techie funnels. There's another way. So thank you.
Worse. I know from personal experience. So come and join us, and make sure that you take your business to the next level in 2021.
Cheers, guys. See you all in there. Click Menno's link.
Yep.
See you then.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers, bud.